Don't get embarrassed, hold on. Yeah, that's better.
Hey, yeah, well, it's echoing a bit, but it's probably better for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, happy birthday.
Thank you, darling.
Oh, how's your day been?
Oh, it's great so far. Yeah, we set the alarm for 2:22 in the morning, or 2:20 in the morning, so we woke up. And what had happened yesterday, you know, when you get old and crocodile like me, you get these dark spots on you. You know how you get these, I don't know what they call them, but you get your dark spots on your arms and all over the place where you don't want them.
Yes.
And they always show up where you don't want it. It's like hair loss, you know.
Yeah.
When you get my age, you lose the hair where you want it and it starts to grow where you don't want it. So anyhow, they started to I was looking at this big one that's really giving me the horrors, and I was just doing something and talking to the girls, and I started picking at it. Next thing, it peeled off. It's like it was stuck on there. It wasn't a pigmentation thing anymore. It had been raised up and pushed out of the skin, and new skin had grown under it to get rid of this black spot, or dark brown spot. And I had about 20 of them on the right arm and several on the left arm, small ones on the left arm and that. So I've been picking them off all day yesterday, and there's a pile of bloody scabs on the... If you get a vacuum cleaner out, pull it, pick them all up, right? So anyhow, we're in bed, and I've had a very bad neck since I was a kid, because my father used to punch me in the side of the head, and that was his hobby. You got to hand it. Old people have got to have hobbies, and his hobby was beating his child.
Right.
And my mother used to say, "Don't punch him in the head, Reggie." Like, instead of saying, "Don't punch my kid at all," no, here he is. Every time he got pissed off, he'd belt me across the head. And the funny thing he used to say to me when I got older, he'd say, "You'd argue with Christ, you would." And I'd say, "You are." Well, that'd also get a couple of thumps on the side of the skull. And he was a powerful man. He was a wharf labourer, drove truck and all that kind of stuff, and had hands like dinner plates. And he'd belt me as hard as he could. Until I was about 12, I finally smacked him back, and then he didn't do it after that, because I was getting too big for him, because I was a very strong kid by the time that, and I could take a punch because he had taught me how to do it, right? So anyhow, it had damaged my neck, and that had caused me a great deal of problems over the years. And even the girls here would just a couple of days ago would massage my neck and been trying to get some relief out of it, because it's just something I got used to, you know.
Yeah.
Very painful. Anyhow, I'm laying in bed at 2:20 and I've got my head rolling it back and forwards on the pillow. No pain.
Wow.
Gone.
Oh, I wish I had that happening for me, because I've got similar to you. I've got chronic back and neck problems.
Is that because of punching the head sometime, or?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. I hate to talk about it, but yeah, that's, you know, probably part of it.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's very interesting, isn't it? So the point is, I've been saying all along that I have to be the first to start to reach that point of showing immortality on the earth, which I've demonstrated a long time now for people trying to kill me. But now it's the reverse of aging.
Yeah.
So that's starting.
Oh.
So that's good news.
That's amazing.
That's Diana.
Yeah.
G'day, Diana.
I'm my dad.
Yeah, we're just getting a hello there from your little mate up here. He's saying hello to you.
Who's that?
Joel.
Oh, I can't hear him because of the echoing going on in the background.
Oh, yeah,
Joel.
you're in a big room. How are ya?
How are you, hon?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Oh, you know, hot and sweaty down here. There's like a microwave in it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I've got out of this, you know. It's like, no sun, apparently, you know, but it's all overcast and we feel like we're being microwaved.
Well, this is the whole point. It is getting hotter.
Yeah.
We looked at the Australian map of weather the other day, or Ash did, and they've had to put a new colour in, because red, which is up to about 50 degrees Celsius, what's that, 120, 130 degrees Fahrenheit, they've now got another one in there, it's called purple, which is over 50 degrees Celsius.
You're kidding.
No. And of course, here we are sitting up in Queensland where normally it would bake you, but because of the Coriolis effect, this is why we come north. And because the temperature range is going to change from Queensland, because it's coming up probably 500 or 600 miles, the centre of the heat wave, normally where it would be in this area we are, is now south 500 miles. So
okay, just explaining it for me, thank you.
yeah, that's right. That's what it's all about. It's the Coriolis effect. We crossed the Milky Way galaxy equator, as you know.
Yeah.
And we crossed that a long time ago. It was 11th of December last year.
Yep.
Right.
I recall that.
So this is what's happening. So now we've got this. The weather pattern has changed dramatically in America, Australia, Africa. If you look at Google Earth, go into Google Earth and look up the areas that you would think would be desert areas of Africa, and you'll find it's quite green.
Yeah.
Right? Ethiopia and places like that.
Right.
All right. So so they're doing well, whereas other parts of the world, like the south part of Australia, it is being baked, and of course they're also having bad weather in the sense of storms.
Sorry, could you just say that again?
They're having bad weather in storms and floods.
We only just missed one on Wednesday night here. It looked like it was heading towards us, and it was pretty fierce looking storm, and it actually went in another direction.
Yeah,
so
right.
So I was battening down the hatches,
yeah.
you know.
Well, I'm a bit upset at the moment.
Sorry?
I'm a bit upset at the moment.
What's happening?
I can't find the cigarette lighter. Oh, here it is. It's all right. When I was in Canada, my wife and I had separated, and I rang her up one day, and I'm crying on the phone, and she said, "What's the matter?" I don't know how to tell you. I'm going like this, and this carried on for about 5 years. You got to tell, what is it? And so I got all this magnificent marijuana, and I can't find my cigarette lighter. Well, she loves smoking dope, right?
Oh, goodness. Oh, I was trying to. I couldn't find a cigarette lighter, and I had some nice green herbal remedy there to be lit up.
Does she own stuff, or is that Lou's?
I actually called him up the other week there. He dropped in here to ask me if I could give him a lift home with one of them big bags of dog food.
Yeah.
And I told him I was planning to come up to visit you, and if he could get a nice birthday present organised for me to take up there, I'd appreciate it. And he was supposed to drop in on Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest. And he hasn't arrived, of course, so sorry to blow his birthday surprise. That's what it was going to be.
Right.
It just hasn't arrived.
Right. Well, as I said about Lou, you can trust him as far as you can throw him.
Yeah. Well, that's what it boils down to.
So when Adam said all the plantation up there, and we had those 33 bloody marijuana plants, the stuff that I'd raised and put my blood in it and bloody fat all over them and so forth. And these things are growing like crazy. And I said, now we'll give them to Lou. And Adam said, yeah, and I'll give you some money. You'll get $100 grand out of it. Oh, yeah, right. I said, Lou will rip me off. Well, everyone was very surprised that I'd say that.
Yes.
Right. I said, look, it's how it is. He will rip me off.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And sure enough, he did.
I'm actually quite shocked at his behaviour with that, because I pulled him up. Prior to me asking him, when he come here to ask for a lift with the dog food, he dropped in here just out of the blue one afternoon, I think it was, when I not long talked to you. And Amber's sitting here, and I said to him, listen, I've spoken to Yaa, and he said that, there should have been some other plants there. And he sat in my kitchen on that tan chair I've got, and he sat there and rolled his eyes around as if to say, oh, here we go, He was in a rotten mood about Darren, his mate at the time. And I didn't press him any further, but he knew I was annoyed and that I was asking him a pressing question, and it put him in a very awkward situation. So I was happy Amber was sitting there listening to me, putting it on him, but he didn't give me any answer back. What?
Well, the point is...
That said it all then.
Yeah.
He was left sort of gobsmacked and not knowing how to answer it, because he ripped me off.
Well, as I said, I've said right from day one that's what he'd do, but he's got these plants out there. They're 13 magnificent trees that are out through the property. I mean, they're huge. Some of them are bloody 15 feet high, right? And the buds that were coming off them was bloody enormous. So I said, he's going to stick that in his arm because he's an ex-heroin addict, right?
Yes, that's right. No, he's not. Yes, He's a heroin addict.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. But up until that point, I was surprised that he was trustworthy or had come across as being trustworthy.
I shouldn't have saved his life.
That's right. I feel like that too at the moment, you know, because it's horrible to know that people just...
Well, he was facing a horrible death, so I said, oh, we've got to fix him. So,
really shocked me, you know.
yeah.
So anyway, now he has to face me each time, so he's made himself very scared around me because he knows I know you're God.
Yeah, well, he's got part rhinoceros in him, see?
Got stuff.
Yeah, bloody, the skin that thick.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was, you know, using needles for, how old is he, you know, 40 years.
Well, I tried to get him on the straight and narrow, but yeah, whatever.
But,
so I got to ban all that kind of
there's no
shit.
hope for him, you know. There's no hope for him. He's full on drug addict, and that's all there is to it. I was just hoping he'd actually come to his senses, but...
No way.
No, not at all.
No, you got to, that stuff's got to be banned.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's only produced through Lizzie, you know.
Yeah.
The Royal, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
With the military mind in their opium fields.
Yeah. Oh, it's all, England's all behind all these drugs, you know, when it all started. That's what they did to deal with China.
Yes, exactly.
Right? Opium and all sorts of stuff, and then India. So they was trading this bloody horrible crap, forcing them to take it. That's what the Boxer Revolution was all about.
Yep. Yep.
And there was one stage there, the Americans pulled in there with the ships into one of the ports of China, and they just started bombarding the city with these flotilla of guns until they submitted.
Yeah.
Right? So they caused the trade to occur, and that's what's going on in Afghanistan and all these countries. They bring the drugs up. Mrs. Clinton was involved.
Yeah.
See, when they used to bring the drugs into Clinton territory, Arkansas, and that's where the kids were murdered down there because they had been out in the bush and they'd seen the military planes flying in with all this to pick up the dope from, or one or the other. It was either the military planes coming in. Now the reason they use military planes is that some of these planes could be having weapons on board that can't be inspected by the immigration, by the customs. And that's how they do it. They just fly where they bloody like. What are you going to stop us a plane coming, a B-52 full of drugs coming in? Because they say, no, you can't go in there, it's got a nuclear bomb on board. Well, shit. Right, this is how they get away with it. I mean, all these Americans, Australians, they're all this bloody, they're all tarred with the same snake.
Oh, yeah, exactly. They're all the same.
Oh, yeah.
And worse by the day. Wow. I've just seen there was another shooting as well. Two school children.
Where, in America or what?
Yeah, in America again.
Yeah, well, it's probably bullshit.
Yeah, another hoax.
Yeah.
Another Hollywood hoax. There's only been one report on it. It was Channel 7 News. But my computer's been going terribly slow. I can barely get anything done these days.
Yeah, mine's the same way.
Yeah. I just feel it's them.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, screwing with it. So that's what I put it down to. So
Absolutely.
I'm kind of bear with it at the moment. But it just tells me that they acknowledge you when this happens. You know? That's what I tell everyone anyway. I just let them know straight out. I don't beat about the bush. I don't give a damn what anyone thinks, because what I know is the truth.
That's right.
Okay? And there's nothing they can do to change that.
Yeah.
Nothing. And I'm fearless, like, you know, I just bombard anyone I can with it. So that's where I stand.
Well, the first fence you got to cross is the guy you're talking to up the street. But he'll go in the pub and say, hey, this is a silly arsehole up there, say this Jesus, right? And the guys who is going to listen to this could not like this guy at all, or could not be a friend, or just someone standing close by. And the rumour starts going out. And that's the whole idea of it.
Oh, that's why I stand in the shopping centre, and when I'm in the line, and I make sure I hold everyone up with starting up a conversation, because they're stuck in the line, they can't move, they have to stand there and listen to me, and I make sure I'm loud enough so that everyone can. Oh, yeah. This place is
I wondered where Amber got it from.
She's a beauty. She's good at it. And,
what a kid. Oh, dear.
Yeah, she was so upset when I couldn't get up there. She was so looking forward to it. So
Oh, come on next time.
For days. when, like, because Nicole had to go for an operation this morning and I wasn't sure if I was going to have to pay that.
Oh, shit.
Had a wisdom tooth and it was growing up around another tooth.
Yeah, that's maybe.
And she waited for nearly 2 months to get in and had this done. So she went in on Monday and she had an infection, of course, and we knew that. And so they've had to wait till today to get her in there again and get the tooth done. And I was thinking, because she was the only one I could ask to come here and take care of the animals. Can't ask Lou, you know, he's not going to be reliable.
No, you can't.
We've already proven that. And so she was stuck over there. Had to go to the operation, but luckily my son ended up taking her after he'd knocked off work. But she's actually got to go back again. It's quite a mess. They had to cut the tooth out and stuff. She couldn't talk properly when I called her.
No, that's right. No,
Yeah. She was in a bit of pain with it, and she was just about to go and lay down and have to sleep. It's been exhausting. She hasn't been getting any sleep at all.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had to stay on standby with that. But, you know, right up until last night, it's like, well, I just stuck up there to try and go for a day trip and, you know, it's a day travel, stay overnight and then come back, and it just really would have been too much. So,
no worries.
sorry we didn't make it, but we really were looking forward to it. I planned everything else apart from someone to take care of these animals, you know, with the way the weather was. I just couldn't.
You could have put them in a box and brought them with you.
What, all the cats and the dog and the birds.
Yeah, one of them.
I thought about maybe just taking one of the kittens. So I had 2 kittens here, and one went down with a tick on Wednesday evening.
Are you giving it silver?
Pardon?
Are you giving the kitten silver? Silver water?
I'll give it the cordial silver around its mouth. That's all.
Yeah, no, they should be drinking it all the time.
Well, I had to for a while, and then we sort of got out of the mode of putting the water in there.
Right.
It was raining, and the bowl was just filling up out there with rainwater and stuff. But Tick was right on its behind, so I couldn't find it until the last minute. So anyway, it passed away, and I had to bury it yesterday morning. So there was that as well. Everything was just going against me going away. So. I had to.
Well, if you keep the silver up to them, a tick will bite and die.
Yeah, right.
Or a parasite, right?
We sort of went past the infestation of the ticks, and so I didn't worry about it anymore because we weren't getting any more. And it just must have been that odd one tick.
Well, that's what Lou had, right?
Yeah.
What's to do? It attacks the brain.
But I think it was because he's also on the heroin, you know.
No. He had a genuine tick problem.
Yeah.
And that's why we encephalitis he had.
Yeah.
You don't get that any other way except from a tick. So when the doctors had diagnosed encephalitis and they didn't know how to treat him, we hit him with the high gauze magnetic fields. Remember that machine we've got down there? And the colloidal silver and the wrist treatment.
Yes.
So we get the blood right. Then we hit the parasite. Its offspring, if you like, in the sense of its poison, that is giving encephalitis to the brain of Lou, and that's why he was in such agony.
Yeah.
It was causing his brain to swell.
Well, yeah, he just really was off the planet with it. When I first seen him.
Well, as soon as we hit him with the treatment, we let him have the wrist pulse of for 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 days or something.
Yes.
And he kept it on 24/7. And of course, it was like extracting wisdom teeth, getting it back off him. But the point is, he was cured.
Yes.
And that is why I said later on, he will rip me off.
Yes, I can't believe it.
I did. That's what I said right from the start. Oh no, he wouldn't. He could go. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I showed him a couple of bloody miracles. One keeping him alive for a start.
He ripped you off. That blows my mind.
Yeah. Rips off God.
He rips God off.
He believes on God, that's no problem. Fuck God, he wants to keep the money, right?
Oh my God.
Oh dear.
But it's embarrassing also for me.
No, it fulfills prophecy.
It does. And I'm going to rub it in next time I see him as well.
It fulfills prophecy.
He's let me down.
That's why I did it. I didn't do it to make money. Adam did it.
I wanted to bring you some herbal remedy up there. And he's just completely avoided it.
I've got the perfect dope now. You smoke one and you don't want another one. It tastes like shit.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
You take one and that's it. No more, thank you. The other stuff that I made originally, I'd smoke 5 of those, no problem. Right? Stoned out of my tree.
Yeah.
Very enlightening, but it's not a happy way for me to be when the world is listening to every word I say, and I'm saying, I'm going to kill you all the fucking Jews, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly what you're doing.
So all you're doing is getting their attention, silly bastards, right? That's all it's to do with. But God is love, right? How can I kill anybody? I can't even kill an ant.
Yeah. Well, this is why you can't be rich.
Asher, on the other hand, is no problem.
Killing. So, you're healing him, you're not killing him.
Yeah.
You go, well, I shouldn't have any problem for him off, he's not going to kill me. Who knows where he keeps that.
Right. But it did say, I've got videos, so I should dig it out. The video of Blue. He's a wild-looking Greek. And he came from around the same area I come from in Sydney.
That's right.
And no, but he went to the places I wouldn't go.
Well,
Right. I'm older than him. There's just some very evil places around in Sydney at that time. I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
Right? So I never went to the brothels, for example. I never even walked down the bloody street. This mate of mine, Byron, I went to school with. He's born on January the 1st, same age as me. And he was always hanging around the brothels. What the frick for? Right? Palmer Street it was. Palmer Street and Palmer Lane.
Palmer Street.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that.
I think I walked through it once. I sort of got a memory of it. Whether I walked through it on a Sunday at church time or something like that, when there's no one in the brothels.
Yeah. They were all worn out from the week's work. I had to say something funny.
Well, I lived on a street where there were brothels when I was 15 years of age.
That must have been an eye-opener for you at that age.
Well, yes. I had a dog, Ginger, his name was, and my father was notorious. His favourite joke when the relatives come around was saying that because he had to drive a truck, right, bull truck, and he'd be driving past the dog pound, and Sam Cusack would sing out. There's a guy who's in charge of the dog pound, the gas chamber there, and he'd say, "Got any dogs today, Reg?" No, not maybe next week, mate. And my dogs would disappear. I'd get a dog, a stray would come in, I'd look after it and love it, and next thing the dog would disappear. So I had this dog, Ginger. And
I had one called Ginger as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
What colour was it?
Mostly dingo.
Yeah, dingo colour.
Yeah.
So anyhow, old Ginger. So I'll leave home. I'm working at Ainsworth Consolidated Industries. I think it was my second job. And I had this old 1929 Chef soft top. And the starter motor was buggered. All the cogs had been worn off, so I welded cogs back on and welded this bloody starter motor to the framework. Right? And it would start. I got it to start. So this is this old car. Anyhow, I've got to look somewhere. I was earning £5 guineas a week I was earning. And I think it was 5 guineas a week for where I was staying was bed and breakfast, but it was also a brothel. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was a kid, right? And I had 25 cents, so I'd go and get spaghetti bolognese at the little wog shop down the road. And then they'd give me 25 cents left for petrol and dog food and shit like that. Something. So if I got to work a Saturday, I got an extra £1, right?
Dog food?
Yeah, I like to feed my dog. I had my dog with me.
Okay.
Ginger, I left home to save it from going to the gas chamber.
Oh, right.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyhow, what happened was the dog got away up the cross, and I never seen it again. Poor thing. Right? So that was when I was 15 years of age. But it showed me the evil. The Jews owned the Ainsworth Consolidated where I was working, and they were making all the poker machines, which you call in America, anyone's going to listen to this, one-armed bandits. Right?
Oh, yeah, that's what we call them too.
Yeah.
And where I come from, in the western suburbs.
That's right.
One-armed bandits.
That's right. Now, I was there, now I'm 15 years of age, and I'm driving without a licence, of course, and there was a area outside of the building, and where they would store the finished poker machines, and they had them all in shipping off to Las Vegas or wherever. And this guy was going to commit suicide, and he's up in the high part, 30 feet up, and he's distraught and he wants to commit suicide. Something terrible had happened. Poor man was lost terribly. Maybe his kids died or something. Killed or whatever. Something tragic. And this copper was there, this detective, and he says something to him to make him jump. Go ahead.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the guy dived head first onto the concrete.
He did do it?
He did do it.
Oh my God.
So this is my first experience of the desperation of seeing.
Yeah.
I'd already suffered the fate of the Holocaust, in the sense of what's it like to have your child taken to a gas chamber, and then your father, who took it there, taunts you with it every day and can, and beats you at the same time.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be a good man, but genetically he is the king.
Yeah. But not.
Imagine having that prick as a king.
Yeah. Wow. That's just.
And my mother, no compassion whatsoever. She let it happen.
Yeah. I've seen that myself.
She let him beat me and let him torment me and take my dogs away to the dog pound.
Yeah.
Now, as a kid, he went to the same school I went to, St Bernard's, down Botany Road, Botany. And the nuns used to get him to drown the kittens.
Oh, goodness
So-
sake. Oh, that's horrific for any child to have to know.
Yeah. I had a pet duck, and he beheaded it before my eyes.
Oh, that's just horrid.
Then he wanted me to eat it.
Oh,
Took it.
that's just, really is over the top, isn't it, for any child to have to experience something like that. They don't know how to still it.
She should have been queen.
Yeah, exactly.
She let it happen.
Oh, that's crazy.
No compassion, sir.
Yeah. Wow. It's fully mind-blowing.
So as it turns out, the Holocaust didn't happen anyhow.
Oh,
The word didn't exist at the time it's supposed to be happening. It was an invented word, but 30 years ago. And we've got people like David Bereninsky, who is debating with evolutionists that the big gap is no evidence for evolution, and asks all these questions, which of course, how can a cow or a moose suddenly become a whale? Right? Just the skin is different. The skin's not waterproof for a start, and why the fuck would they want to? Right? They start munching on what a cow munches on. So creation has all happened all at once at the same time.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. And
So-
for anyone who's even considering bullshit evolution, I don't think there's much hope for anyone who's heads are stuck in that.
It's a good tool to get rid of them, right?
Absolutely.
Like if you're not on my team, you're not getting in. They say the road to destruction is wide, but the road to salvation is narrow.
Absolutely. Like the eye of the needle.
Yeah. That's why it's easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of God.
And I've heard that
That's here, right, on the earth.
years ago, and until I heard you explain that, I couldn't quite get it, Then again, I was pretty naive, and it really wasn't with it back then when I first heard it.
No, the soul wakes you up eventually.
But
The soul's saying, oh, what the fuck is moron's going on about? Until you get to about 37 years of age, so now wake the fuck up, right?
yeah,
And the soul is telling the idiot on the outside the flesh bit to say, get your mind together, wake up.
yeah.
This is reality.
All I see is, people are just totally losing it, and where their heads are at, it's unbelievable,
Well, this David Bereninsky's a Jew, and because he's arguing the point against, mathematically and so forth, the extraordinary odds is like a trillion times a trillion times a trillion times a trillion to one, that this could be accident, right? So he's doing a very, very good job, but he's a Jew,
Yeah.
right? He's not a Christian. He doesn't believe in Jesus. he does mention the Holocaust, that his grandfather died in the Holocaust. Right? He probably would have died on the same date had he been living on the French Revolution fucking era. Right? The point is, he's getting paid compensation because he's the son of Jews that lived through the Holocaust, mind you. His parents got through it. They spent 4 years.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
What the argument is, if there's a Holocaust and Germany wanted to get rid of you, they'd have a pit dug. They'd bring the train in, get off, fucking bang, one bullet, bury the bodies with a bulldozer, move along. They wouldn't entertain you for 4 years so you get so starved that you end up dying of typhus.
And why would they bother building any concentration camps? They would have done, if they were going to burn them, they would have burned them.
Auschwitz was built in 1948 after the fucking war. The bloody gas ovens, or the gas where they're supposed to gas everyone, that was built after the war. And they built it wrong anyhow.
And thank God all the truth's coming out about it,
Yeah.
you know.
I had buddies that went into Dachau, and he said the tanks that pushed all the bodies and made the trenches, right? Because the whole place everyone was so emancipated because America and England had bombed all the food producing in Germany.
Yep.
They had no food. Everyone starved in Germany.
Yep.
So when you see those bodies laying there, right, emancipated and dying, that's how the rest of Germany was.
Well, so
Right.
my brother-in-law was...
Well, there's 50 million of them. Ask him, for
their
fuck's
mother
sake.
Polish, and they didn't get Holocaust.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact, you know, and their friends and relatives. I was just talking this morning to my sister on the phone. We remember back when we were children, you know, my brother-in-law's parents' friends, you know, and spending Christmas with them. Polish people, German people. I never heard them talking about any fucking Holocaust.
Yeah, that's right.
So I know personally, you know.
Yeah, I know Jews that come through the war.
Ah.
They had the tattoos on their arms, but they're not all
Yeah,
numbered.
these ones had the tattoos.
Yeah.
And so...
You know, they didn't want to do that. They had to do it. It was
They
IBM.
didn't talk about any Holocaust.
They had to know who died, you see. That's what the tattoo was all about. The number.
Yeah.
If someone dies, if their number doesn't show up after the war's over because they're predicting ahead that this is going to end eventually, they always kept meticulous records, the Germans. They're like the Japanese. They're accountants.
That's right, yeah.
Fastidious. And it was David Irving that went over there and actually worked in Dresden and found out that Dresden had lost 140,000 people in 20 minutes when it was firebombed by England.
Yep.
And he could not believe this possible. Then he realised that all of British history, the history is written by the victor.
That's it.
Right? So obviously,
I've seen
universal.
the David Irving video.
So Hitler was the same, eh?
Yep, Hitler was the same. Heil Hitler.
Absolutely.
And geez, that gives everyone the shit.
I always said he didn't go quite too far.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't have the problems we've got today.
See, he took it literally what I said as Jesus, which was to love your enemy.
Yeah.
That's what he did. Right? It was the children he was protecting. He didn't have too much time for the oldies because he knew what slime they were.
Yeah.
He said they were like maggots in a bloody festering sore.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Had to be rooted out. He said, but the children, what do
Yeah.
you do with them? You can educate them.
Yeah, that's it. And, yeah, that's right. Because, you know, before they got chance to be brainwashed. Wow. Okay, so here we are today.
Yeah. So I'm de-aging as I speak.
Pardon?
I'm de-aging as I speak. I'm a bit worried. The girls are going to town. They might come in and think I'm a stranger.
Oh, this is there at the moment. So, boys' day.
Eh?
It's just you and Joey.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
okay.
tell her about Ashton's stunt this morning.
No, she took a stumble down the bloody stairs. It was in the stars, of course. I told her not to do it. So she goes charging up the stairs and arse over it she goes.
Oh, no.
I told her not to.
Then electrocuted herself over there.
Yeah, and then Karen, she electrocutes herself. She's got the big flat feet beside me and kicks over this bottle of water that I'd made specially, right? I used electrolysis and silver and everything else I could think of put in it. And she knocks it over, spills it all over all the electrical stuff. They've got plugs all over the floor. Right?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And got that.
Yeah, this new grand piano we got, right? But what they do, they put in to look nice, a cup of gravel, right, little red beads on the fucking piano, right? And the cat gets up there, bang, knocks it over, which she always does, and all these little bloody bits of granite fall down into the keys I got to get out, right? And I can't take the piano to pieces. Right? I was just getting good at it, for fuck's sake.
Okay.
How do you like my piano playing?
Come up with some device.
Yeah, I did. I got it out.
To suck it all out.
Yeah, I got it out.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bits of wire with sticky tape on the end of it and all this kind of fishing, like fishing for termites. And I learned it off the chimpanzees.
When did this all happen?
About 3 weeks ago.
Just the other day or something?
No, about 3 weeks ago, something like that. 4 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. This echoing on the phone's really hard to hold a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, even when you put the videos up,
Yeah.
a lot of them are echoing.
Yeah, well, they're doing that to you.
Yeah, that's what I reckon too.
They can't do anything about it, so you just got to read lips.
Yeah. That makes me listen a lot harder.
Hey, that's the point. I met a man once who was a encyclopedia salesman recruiting officer for the Britannica. And when you speak to him, as they're interviewing you, see if you want to be a salesman or not, I went in to see because I was desperate, I needed money. And as he's talking to you, he'd be talking like that, then his voice would get quieter and quieter and quieter. He'd end up whispering, his lips would be moving and nothing else. So what did I do? See you later, idiot. Right. I didn't go to become tricked into listening intently and reading his lips.
Yeah.
Right? I said, oh, no way, that's bullshit. Encyclopedia Britannica. And owned by Sears Roebuck in the United States, which is Simpson Sears, right, which is Simpson & Simpson, I think it was in Canada, one of those, which is the largest catalogue distributing company in America, which is totally Jewish. They own the Britannica.
Yeah.
Right? So I bought the Britannica and I was reading it to see what they said. And they had everything changed. Right?
Unbelievable.
I took a Britannica to Africa, for God's sake. I had to be there from Chingola in Africa. I had to be there when the moon bullshit walk was going to be on.
Yeah.
Because what they've done, with the longitudes and latitudes of it, it spells out the devil.
Yeah.
Right? So with me being in Chingola, it adds the distance. So you go Apollo 11, 12, no 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, down to Chingola where I was, back up to Jerusalem or to the North Pole. It spells out Christ and Jesus.
Okay. Well,
So it identifies me being there in the bullshit moonwalk, right? Which I proved within 2 seconds looking at one photograph.
Yeah.
They're using mercury vapor lamps. Right?
You know, how did they dumb everyone down to that point, you know?
Because they know Christ's coming.
Believing the crap.
No, they know Christ's coming.
Yeah.
We will forbid Christ. Protocol 14. They know he's a man, the idiots. Like just by writing that in the book, they're saying a man is coming who is Christ. Not in the clouds. Clouds means intelligence. Depending on what morphology you're at the time, whether you're an Essene thinking person or a Pauline thinking person or a Catholic thinking person, it's all clouds of confusion. So the reality is he comes in the clouds, which the confused people can't read, which is intelligence. Right? You don't think God's going to let you get away with this, do you?
I'm glad my parents weren't dumped down by religion or any of that, you know. They were bloody atheists. But
I don't blame anyone for being an atheist.
That's what they tell the
Do you think I give a fuck?
Well, whoever comes to the door, but in reality, they already have their beliefs.
I've been into the light. Right? These people have these near-death experiences. I've been into the light and Jesus spoke to me. That's a lie, right? I didn't speak to him. Right? Their imagination's like the DMT thing that Lou and Dan takes. Right? It's the morphology that's been given to them by the suggestions of the Tavistock industry who aren't Jews, who control the media, who give you the thoughts and the movies and the music to think in such a direction.
That's what I've got.
They're smarter than you are because you're dumbed down.
And they still can't fucking get it.
That's right.
And they come across...
They are frightened of you because when you get your intellect, you're God.
Yeah.
Right? They got to keep you dumbed down. Great fat oaks, you should see an Army Bay. It's like, you don't have to go to a circus. It doesn't make any money when they come to town. I tell you, they got nothing compared to what you see walking in and out of the fucking unemployment office. Right, covered in tattoos, women with asses bloody a foot and a half wide each side.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And it's all been put, I told, what's her name? I sang her a song on the internet. Who was I singing to? Prime Minister.
Oh, Gillard.
Gillard. Yeah.
Yes, who is?
I said to her, now you go into Parliament and you tell all the people, all these medical people to get fucked. This is how you cure people.
Yes.
It's already been done in Fiji and New Guinea and in Central Australia.
They know all that. They know it.
I'm telling Julia Gillard to do it.
Yeah, and, you know...
As a happy birthday present for me.
I'm thinking they can dumb us down when we got the fucking truth. And the truth. They're looking so...
Seen another angel yesterday.
Moment. It's just beyond belief. You know? It's still trying to spill this garbage to everyone.
Yeah.
But it's not working for us anyway. We know the truth and we're just looking at these fools. They're making such idiots of themselves. Anyway, it's unbelievable. How could people like that be running the country? Of course they're not. They're just puppets.
Look, what's the prophecy? The devil's going to be in charge, right? They'll run all countries. Julia Gillard is one of them. They're giving her opportunity not to build a scaffold for her own education, right? Which is, tell the truth for a fucking change. There is this lunatic back, right? She can be sarcastic if she likes. It says, this is how you cure people.
Yeah.
He also thinks he's Jesus. Okay, he's a mental case, but he is curing people.
That's right.
That's what we're going to do. I always tell the truth. I always tell the truth to my constituents, to the people. You can trust me.
And,
She said so.
You know, there's one thing Lou can't deny. You know, he says that you cured him.
Eh?
That's one thing Lou can't deny, is that you cured him.
Well, he don't give a fuck, right? That's the whole point. You see, it doesn't matter what good you do for a person. They're either a good person or they're not, and they will respond in kind, right? Because they are kind and compassionate, because kindness and compassion was cured Lou. But he's not kind and compassionate to help a poor old man that's his mate, that he knows is God. He don't give a fuck, right?
Well, obviously not.
Therefore, he's not one of the chaps, is he? He's a witness.
Pardon?
He's a witness. He's building his own execution. Lou.
Exactly. Yes.
Tell him I said so.
If you're listening to this right at the moment, this ought to be some fun for me.
Yeah.
I've been laughing my guts up at him. See,
Well, I'll upload it on YouTube, how's that?
you know, he regards me as his friend, but he knows I'm straight up with him, so he really can't handle me too much. You know, it's a small dose.
Well, that's why. He's guilty, right?
Because he knows...
He's rich and guilty.
I've proven to him that you're God, because you've proved to me you're God, and he can't stop it because he still wants to take his drug.
That's right.
And if he acknowledges that you're God, which he knows you are, then he can't take his damn truth because it doesn't make any fucking sense anymore, does it?
So what's going to happen? He's going to drop dead, right?
Unbelievable.
He's going to drop dead. And I've got my trees in there growing like monstrous bloody 14, 15 foot high trees. They're so high some of them are bending over and tearing the soil up. They're monsters. I own it. They're my trees.
Yes, but...
They'll be dead soon. Don't worry about it. And the dogs already like me.
No wonder I didn't see him for months after that.
Well, just tell him. Just say, hey, you talked to me on the phone. I said, look, your dogs love me already. He knows that because that surprised him. When I could play with these dogs, and these things eat people.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And I'm wrestling the big one to the ground, right, and playing with his wife and all this kind of thing because he had 2 bitches and another male.
Yeah.
Right, and he used to bite the shit out of him at the same time. I said, yeah, I know, this is your territory, mate, no worries, son. And I said, go get him. So he was jumping around and licking me all over, right? Lou was absolutely stunned.
He has to be, because no one would normally be up to any of them dogs unless, you know.
So tell him, right, he's going to be dead soon. I'm taking over. They're my trees and I'll take over your dogs too.
Yeah, I can tell him that one.
Tell him.
That's what I will.
Tell him he's got a week.
That's if he bothers to come back here again.
No, next time you see him.
He just has made himself scarcer and scarcer.
Of course he is. He's guilty, isn't he? He knows what's coming. Look, he's going into DMT and all the shit that he takes and heroin and bloody everything. So his mind is out there. And when he goes out there, he knows what's happening because his mate Dan, he's done the same thing. He says, you can go to your mind and you are there. There's aliens and all this shit that have been put in your mind because it's all subliminal and the drugs, of course, are manufactured to do just that.
Yep.
Well, I don't care.
Darren, yeah.
You're that dumb to go there. See you later. I don't want you.
Right, yeah. Anyway, they're just so infatuated with their drugs.
Well, hey, it's a Babylonian story, though.
They would rather fulfill the protocol 14 than for big Christ and have their fucking drugs.
Because they've got to stand up, haven't they?
Well, I kick their ass every time I see them. They hate me. Really, they do, because they know I won't shut up about it. You know?
What about the bongs up the street?
They know that they have to reject you, which fulfills prophecy. And
go see the Aboriginals.
Oh, they're just a fuck in the head, mate.
No, tell them this. You're going to get one of them, right? So here's the guy that went over when the H1N1 flu was coming in, right? He knows they were going to try and kill you because you're the sovereign owners of Australia.
Yep.
So he went to Urindumu, where one was reported to have died. And of course we get there and there's this great big fat turd, he's talking to us and he says, oh no, I've been here for 18 months more. There's no little old lady that had been there for 30 years that we had met a man that she had helped the day before in a caravan park when our Ash is out converting people and yapping on as you do at the dishes, right? And this guy said, oh, you're going to Urindumu? She said, yeah. She said, I'll say hello to Helen or whatever her name is. Thanks for helping with the tyre yesterday, right? Now, in the meantime, our FBI, CIA, ASIO, Mossad goes up there and they remove the little old lady. Who knows? Could have even killed her if she wasn't going to go quietly. Right?
Yeah.
And they go take over and say, no, we've been here for 18 months and no one's died here, when it was in the newspaper, which you can't believe in here.
Yeah.
That the first death for the H1N1. Tell them that.
Well,
and I gave it to all the Aboriginals.
One of the, now I went to a conversation the other week with Darren, and he revealed to me one of the Aboriginals here, which more or less keeps to himself. You know, he's a bit of a straight-faced, and he keeps insisting that Darren's Aboriginal when he's Greek, and he said, look, he's actually revealed to me that he himself, this guy, Aboriginal guy, has an old helmet. Okay, now because I was talking about Pedro Fernando de Quiros. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Okay,
right.
And I said, this is what I was telling Darren, and Amber was telling him. I mean, he's a little 9-year-old educating this adulty about Pedro Fernando de Quiros. Anyway, so
yeah, what was the date he showed up in 1606?
This guy has the helmet.
There you go. The Spanish.
That's an Aboriginal from here.
Yeah, a Spanish helmet.
So down about. I said, well, do you know whose helmet that is? And I fucking told him.
Yeah.
Fernando Quiros helmet.
Yeah, that's right, off the ship.
Okay, exactly. So that's here, somewhere in Nimbin.
So what they do, they declared it at the New Hebrides. That's where the boys up there turn to girls or the girls turn to boys at a certain age.
Right.
And it's called the New Hebrides. And he put a spear declaring it is now the property of Christ.
Yep.
Not of Spain or Portugal, of Christ.
Yep.
And he put his helmet on it.
Yep.
So there's a spear and a helmet.
Yep. That's what the guy's got.
Well, that's it. That's Pedro Fernandez de Quiros, who, on behalf of Jesus Christ, declared all of the southern hemisphere to the South Pole, that's all around the world, including South America, South Africa, in the name of Jesus. And the gospel will be, not the Bible, the gospel will be preached to all creatures.
Yes. And for the rescue remedy.
That's why they're trying to kill all the Aboriginals. That's why I went to stop it.
Now, he's keeping that well hidden, but he revealed it to Darren. And then Darren revealed it to me. And
all right.
So when was it? It was about a week ago. He'd been hitchhiking and he called me up and he said, oh, do you mind if I crash at your place? It was getting late at night.
Darren?
Yeah. He said, I've been at someone yeah, no worries. So we stayed overnight, packed on the lounge, and then I got into his ear the next day, of course. Actually, I got into his ear before he went to sleep, but he was laid down and happened to listen to me go on about you, of course. But next day we started the conversation about the helmet of Pedro Fernando's helmet, okay? And I said, well, he's the one who actually found Australia and claimed it for the rescue remedy for the whole human race, for the sacrifice of Jesus upon the cross, okay?
Right.
And I said, that's your straw man. I said, I was telling...
South Lane of the Holy Spirit.
Lenny, I said, before Yahweh come here and took the declaration, knows the claim, he gives to Lenny, take to Judge Linden at Lismore Courthouse on the 8th of June 2011, yeah? When we all went down and witnessed that. I said, I told Lenny before Yahweh come here, I said, there is your straw man remedy through Pedro Fernando's Figueroa. And did any of them listen? No, of course they don't.
No, that's not the point.
No, they got it.
Yeah, but they'll go and sell it to someone else. They'll dream about it. It's a thought. Their thoughts are going out like little transmitters to other people in their general vicinity or worldwide, for that matter. And the thought is going out. Doesn't matter whether they.
That's right.
So the subconscious doesn't make any judgment.
Lenny doesn't realise, even though he might be annoyed because he got popped up, I said he doesn't realise that actually checkmates the system.
Yeah.
I said, but I know that. I said, so I tell everyone about it. I use that constantly, especially for the people in
They've been in court with Lenny.
About Lenny and about you giving him the declaration knows the claim to the throne.
Yeah, to the court.
And handed to Judge Linden. Okay,
Yeah.
so because the people know this area and the judge that sits there, Linden, they all know about him. And I said, well, he's the man who's got it. So I use that constantly.
So he wasn't too happy.
Pardon?
He wasn't too happy when I was in court watching Lenny.
Yes? Oh, absolutely not. And he wasn't happy with me either when I called him treasonous as we're walking out the door.
Treason, yeah.
And neither were the cops when I told them to get their hands off Asherah or else I'm going to have them charged.
Yeah.
When they went to take the phone off her, you know?
That's right.
Because she was filming. And I said to the guy, what's the name? You know, show me, he didn't have a name. He only had a number on there. Well, that's the first time I ever knew that cops don't have a name as well as a number.
Right.
You know, and then the Freemasons having their big shindig over across the road in the church there. Yeah?
That's right.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. Never seen nothing like it. Go through the police station, go in the courthouse, and what? They've got no scanners happening. You're walking in with two briefcases and
no scanners.
No scanners. Got lights off. No.
Hoping it's a bomb.
Courtroom one shut today, and that's the courtroom all of us are going into. Oh, because the guy wasn't driving with a licence. You've got to be kidding me. You know.
Who can drive, mind you?
Oh, well, anyway, we done some driving that day. We drove it home.
Yeah, that's right.
All the way to Judge Linden.
Yeah.
Treasonous bastard.
Yeah.
Anyway, plenty of people witnessed that one. That's a beauty.
What about the radio show?
Yeah, and the radio show with the bloody goddess there. Unbelievable.
Oh, dear.
And I'm waiting for Asher to watch and forgetting she had the cookie and she's doing it.
Yeah, she ate a bloody hash cookie she got off of Tracy Playfeet, right?
Playfeet, yeah.
So now she can't talk. So I'm sitting there with these three guys. We've got was it Mike, the one who owns the thing, who just runs the show?
No, it's not actually Michael Ballstone's radio show there. I think it just belongs to the community, but there's some other guy that runs it. And he's the one who actually got the fax message to the three that if they have you back on there again, they're going to shut the radio station down. That should have woken up.
Didn't know, did it? Yeah, but what did Mike find out about it and the Queen find out about it?
And Michael Ballstone was at the courthouse and he was there and got told by the guy who's running the radio show, if you go back there, they're going to shut it down, and they still haven't got it. kidding me? I mean, they've never had some right chaps in the town before. There's got to be, surely, some brain up top there working that's going to tell them there's something about you. Oh my God.
What about?
It's a barrel here for me, mate, but I'm having a go, you know?
What about the night these idiots stole my computer?
Oh, and that as well. And then
I set them up, right?
don't worry, every time I've seen the cops, I've dragged, instead of them...
Look, it was an IBM piece of shit, anyhow.
Wait a minute, I want to talk to you, you know? I'm sure they avoid me purposely now because they had to listen to Amber as well, telling them that you're reincarnated Christ, okay? And Astra's reincarnated Mark Magdalene. Excuse me. I'm telling them an ATO's broken into the house and stolen Christ's computer. And it's got all the information of reincarnation, taking down the New World Order with it all, blah, 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 you know? Now, the cops have got to have a look at that.
Of course they do.
They can't type in the most raw man alive.
Right. Not only are they going to look at it, they're going to look at it several different people from all walks of their sick society to look at it, to make a decision on what to do with this strange old bastard, right?
Yeah, and the strange bitch who's winching at him, me.
Strange old bastard that's getting younger every day, you know.
But the thing is, I've got a case number for that too, so they had to give me a case number.
Yeah.
But when he was ringing me up to tell me about the case number, that was the afternoon where Amber seen Asio again up the top of the driveway, hiding at the top of the driveway in camouflage gear.
That's right.
and so the cops, I'm just about to ring the cops up about it, and he rings me, and I go, oh, I said, I was just about to call you, you know. And he said, well, I'll bring up the case number for you about the computers that's been stolen. He said, could you pass it to your visitor? He wouldn't say your name.
Yeah, right.
And he had to fulfill the protocol 14. And I said, well, we've just had another incident, and this is what's happened. He said, well, listen, hang on. He goes, no, I'll come out there. So 5 minutes later, he turns up, and Amber fills him in on her experiences. She was coming home from school down the driveway. She went to check the mail, you know, and the lid, the mailbox is broken, so she's picking it up off the ground, and she sees the guy in camouflage gear hiding in the bush, totally covered up from hands.
What an idiot.
Couldn't see none of him. This is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You're kidding me?
Oh, dear me.
She says to the guy, she goes, what are you doing hiding there? She goes, if you don't go, she goes, I'm going to get my mother and call the cops, you know. So she comes down to me and she tells me this. I said, shit, okay, I'm going to grab the phone, Amber. Just go out round the back, the other side of the house, and see if the guy's still there if you can. You know, and I'm watching her while I'm walking outside with the phone. And a motorbike pulls up. The guy on the motorbike was dressed in a white shirt, business pants, and she said, described the shoes like, you know, workman's shoes, she said. He had a pair of sunglasses on, described all the bike. So he's riding the bike, he jumps on the back, and the guy in the camo jumps on the front, and they go. Are you kidding me? A guy with camo and a business dress guy. Dressed in business guy. So anyway, we tell the cops all this, and then one of them was David Toretto. He's the cop who gave me the case number.
What was the case number, do you remember?
Yeah, pardon?
What's the case number?
I actually give it to Ash. I'm going to find it right now, actually.
All right.
I've got my glasses on here. Okay, so it's Senior Constable David Toretto. T-A-R-A-N-T-O.
Yeah.
And the time was 12:30 p.m. on the 16th.
Hold on, I'm going to write this down.
Yeah.
What's he, Mexican, is he?
No, sounds Australian. It's only young
Well,
bloke,
I thought Doritos were Mexican.
Pardon?
I thought Doritos were Mexican.
Toretto.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you spell it? T what?
T-A-R.
Yeah.
A-N-T-O.
What's his first name?
David.
David.
Senior Constable.
Senior Constable.
And it remember this was the day after when I went in to report, so it's the 16th of the 5th.
2011.
He put down 2012 though.
Oh!
That's what it's got here. You'll see it yourself. He's just got 12.
Well, that's interesting.
It hasn't got, it's like 2011. It's just got 12 written there. That's very interesting because I'd never picked that up before.
Yeah.
So that it was at 12:30 p.m. The report went in. That was when you went over to buy a new phone for me, over to Lismore. And so the case number is E.
E for Edward?
Yeah. 48468042.
Sounds like a bloody Julian date. Righto, I'll look it up.
Yeah. And now listen, the phone number, okay, I'll give you that as well. So it's 02
Yeah.
6689
02 6689
12
12
44.
44.
Now, fax number is 02
Hold on. 02, yeah.
66
Yeah.
89
Yeah.
11
11
44.
44. Oh dear, that's my date of birth.
Exactly.
Well, let's look the number up, 6689, and see what we get. But the problem is, no matter what it says, that's what you're stuck with, right?
Sorry, hon?
I say, like a number like that, it might say moron,
Yeah.
right, and my birthday.
Yeah.
Right? So, you're stuck, whatever the number is, you're stuck with it, right?
Yep, that's it. That's why
Okay.
because I was going to ask her
Honeycomb.
for a case number. Instead, he's ringing me. That's the first time the cops have ever offered a case number to me when I've had issues. I've had to chase them up.
Honey from dripping.
That was just a bizarre thing.
Yeah, it makes, it's honey, and 1144, of course, is Benjamin.
At 11:44.
Yeah.
Okay. And it says pensioner.
So it's pensioner.
Okay. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Pensioner.
Yeah. It's just the phone's echoing and
That's all right.
carrying on silly.
I got it on speaker.
Yeah.
Is that any better?
Hope so.
Now, see, what this is reality.
Absolutely.
They did steal my computer.
Yep.
I did set them up.
Yep.
I never left my computer by itself ever before.
No.
We never leave the house here, unless there's one of us here.
And I never left the house because I had no car, so I wasn't going anywhere. For 2 years I hadn't had a car for.
It's all right.
So who could know? You know my driveway, and Joel knows my... You know, no one's going to see that I went out anywhere.
Yeah,
It was dark when we left here.
that's right.
Hey, I'll tell you another weird thing though. Darren said that, when I was talking to Darren about this, he said Lenny's computer got stolen.
His computer.
Yeah.
Well, I had spoken to him. We spent a great deal of time together.
Lenny? You and Lenny?
No, via Darren.
Yeah.
He's a friend of Lenny.
Him, Lenny and Darren, obviously.
It was Lenny's seeds that I grew the forest at Lewes.
Sorry?
It was Lenny's seeds that we grew the forest at Lewes Place, which is going to be my property as soon as he drops dead.
Yeah.
Don't forget to tell him.
Okay, I will. Will do. I'll have great pleasure in doing that one. Actually, I'll go out of my way to chase him up.
It's a place you don't want to go into. It's all full of bloody leeches, right?
Yeah. Well, it would have been back then because that's when we were getting flooded here, you know. So it's harping us big time.
That's right.
So
let's talk about the radio show.
Okay. Yeah.
We have Clayfeet give us a hash cookie, piece of hash cookie, a little tiny bit, to Ash. So I said, yeah, go and try it, why not? So she munches on that, and next thing, she can't speak. We're going on the radio station, right?
She went numb in the mouth.
Went numb in the mouth. And I'm talking to Michael, and this other guy's popping in. I thought he was part of the radio program. I didn't know he was anything notorious, which he turns out to be a queen.
I didn't know who he was. They noticed a guy before in town. I was gobsmacked.
Oh, dear, what a lunatic.
He come out and said he was the goddess. He's channeling the goddess. I'm thinking, what's this guy on about? He's talking to God. He's saying he's channeling the fucking goddess. Oh, my
I said
God.
how handsome a man he was, too, and he was quite taken back by that. I said, you're a very handsome man, Queenie.
And then I find out that his son is a teacher over at the school, and I had a conversation then. I told him about his father calling himself the goddess to God at the radio station. I said, this was all recorded, you know, I went on YouTube. And he agreed his father's a nutter.
Yeah.
Now this is a teacher from over at the Nimbin school.
And what's happened with the homosexual teachers there?
Oh, he's still there.
Oh, well, he won't be much longer.
No, he's back.
You could tell him from me, if you like, he'll be dead soon. Don't worry about it. The angels haven't forgot, but they've got to take care of the more important demons.
I'll have great pleasure in doing that. I bailed him up.
Tell him I said so.
It was just before New Year's Eve. It might have been the evening, in the afternoon of New Year's Eve, and he was in the supermarket right in front of me, so he had no choice. He was stuck there. And
what's his name, by the way?
His name is, they call him Mr. E.
Mr. E.
Yeah, Mr. E. I'll think of his name in a second. Anyway, I'll just go on with the story and then it'll come to me. So he's in front of me at the supermarket and he's trying not to notice that I'm there, and I would go out of my way and strike up a conversation with him. Oh, what are you doing for New Year's Eve, you know? And he goes, we're just going to have a quiet one, you know. And me and Amber's there, and we're going, we're off to go and visit Christ up to his place for his birthday. He said, no, I said, we'll be able to tell you all about it when we come back.
Yeah.
You know, just tormenting hell out of him, of course.
Well, tell him you've been up here because you are talking to me and would have said the same thing anyhow.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're here in spirit anyhow.
Yeah.
And that's cheaper.
And I'll tell him, and then I'll give him the message.
Didn't have to pay for the petrol to get up here.
Well, Christ said that you're a dead man walking, and, you know, pass the message on. There'll be no homosexuals in paradise.
Yeah, just tell him there's no homosexuals in paradise. Finish.
That's it.
And don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Your angel has got your number. He's coming for you, but he's got some other tasks to be performed first. But they'll come on you from behind, and you should like that.
Oh my God.
Tell him exactly that.
He cringes when he looks at me.
He what?
I mean, before I'd even found you on the internet through the straw man, I'd already been into the teachers over there, giving them hell, of course, for the way they treat the kids.
Yeah.
And so they don't like me, of course, for that. And now they like me even less, which is great. I love the rejection.
Yeah, right.
That means something's happening.
Join the club.
Yeah, exactly, I have. So that's how they feel with Amber as well, you know, because she's got a big mouth and she can't help herself. She goes and stirs it up. She loves it.
Yeah, I know she does.
She knows she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have a problem with facing them with it.
Well, tell her what I told you. She'll tell the kids, right?
Oh, that's right.
That all these evil bastards have got their angel,
Yep.
right, has been a witness to their performance all their lives. Has seen every dastardly deed they've ever done.
Yep.
And they are marked for death.
Yep.
They're not written in the book of life, right?
Yes. Well,
And the other angel is coming along, and that is the one that's coming with what we would call Nibiru, but I've said it is Gabriel, bringing the angels back.
Yep.
Right?
I told
I seen another angel yesterday, as a matter of fact.
I told Mr. E that on the last day of school, when I went to pick Amber up from school, she had to bring home all her bits and pieces. So I went over to collect her, and he happened to be right there in my face. on my way out. And we're having a really bad weather day here. It wasn't looking good at all. And I told him, I said, oh, well, that's Nibiru. I said, Archangel Gabriel. I said, coming in. I said, so keep your eyes to the skies, you know. He looked at me, you know.
You know, I've always been saying right from the first moment I got onto the internet, keep looking up.
Yep, that's it. And I tell you, there's a lot of people that are looking up at the moment. They can't help it because all the crazy stuff that's happening up.
Did you see the last one we uploaded about the Hawaiian?
Yes. Oh, and straight away I remembered back to when it was Ashra's birthday, when you asked her what she wanted for her birthday, and then you uploaded that video. Same thing.
Yes.
Yeah, same flash of light.
What date was it?
Well, it was just before Ash's birthday when you were asking her, so it would have been just after that.
After Ash's birthday?
Yeah, Ash's birthday.
Oh, so that'd be the 20th.
Yeah, it might have been the 21st or something. Joel would probably have that there because remember they took down all the videos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2010 or 2011?
2011. Yes, we're at Toowoomba.
Right.
Yes. So that's to give you a bit of an estimate. So Joel's got the video still downloaded there somewhere. Yes.
No, it's great stuff, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's all happening, that's for sure.
What's Mr. E's name? You've forgotten again?
Yeah, I'm still trying to remember. Mr. Edwards, I think his name is.
Edwards?
Edwards, yeah.
What school is it?
At Nimbin Central.
I'll track him down.
If not, as soon as Amber comes
Maybe I'll send him a death threat or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea. As soon as Amber comes back, I'll find out his proper name. But he's the deputy principal there, you know?
Yeah.
And then the principal, she's a mother with, I think, 3 or 4 kids, and she's become gay as well. I mean, she wasn't gay when she started
What's her
school,
name?
and then all of a sudden the kids have got to get used to her being gay.
What's her name then?
Mrs. Pell.
Mrs.
Pell.
P-E-L-L?
Yes.
Puffy Pell.
Sorry?
Puffy Pell.
That's echoing a bit for me there. I couldn't quite catch what you said.
Puffy. P-O-O-F-E-Y.
P-O-O.
F. Puff.
Sorry.
You got
Mary
it?
Jane, her name's Mary Jane Pell.
Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just pulled out one of the schools.
Well, tell her this is going up on the internet.
Yeah.
And tell her that there is an angel that has reported in to the destroying angel.
Yeah.
And I should point out that the destroying angel was calling upon my nephew and I didn't stop it.
Yeah.
I could have.
Yeah. I'm just looking for Mr. E's name to see if I could see it here on the documents, on the school newsletter thing.
Anyhow, she's marked for death.
Yeah, both of them. But it's so mind-blowing for the kids. Like, I don't know how they're handling that one. Really don't.
Well, they won't
I
for
think
much
they are
longer.
handling it, actually. I'm totally disgusted. But, you know, which school do you send the kids to? I don't want to send Amber to any school, but I think if I've got to send her anywhere, that she can do as much damage as she wants to.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah. It's her mouth that's really given them grief.
Well, she is the daughter of royalty.
Yeah.
Well, she got your blood and she's got a father's. And he's what, descendant of the kings of Hungary, isn't
Yeah,
he?
Perez. His name's Perez, her father's name.
How do you spell it?
V-E-R...
P-E-R...
V...
Sorry?
V-E-R...
V-E-R.
Yeah. Perez.
And that is V-E-R what?
V-E-R-E-S.
E-S.
Yeah.
Perez. Oh, lovely name, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was his first name?
Jay. It was Charles. He used to call himself Jay.
J.
Yeah, he called himself Dave. His name was Charles.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Charles.
Carl is hard to remember, you see.
Yes. So now I'll tell you his...
Date of birth.
I'm just going to have a look for his...
Give me Amber's date of birth, your date of birth, I'll write them all down.
My date of birth is the 25th of the 5th, 59.
Right.
And I'm just going to look at his documents. I'm just getting it out here. And his...
Is that K-A-R-L?
Sorry?
K-A-R-L? Carl.
Charles was his name.
Yeah.
His name is Emmerich.
K or a C?
C. His middle name, it's Emmerich Charles Verez. So Emmerich is spelled E-M-E-R-I-C.
Yeah.
And Charles with a C. And Verez. How I spelled it before.
Yeah.
And he's just looking for his date of birth. It hasn't got up there. 27th of March was his date of birth.
27th of March?
Yes.
Yeah, what year?
Geez, I was trying to look for it here, but it hasn't got it. It's only got the date he passed away on what I'm looking at.
What day did he pass away?
It was the 11th of the 3rd, 2008. I was looking at his...
The 11th of March 2008.
Yeah, but it hasn't got his date of birth on here. It's only got his cremation date.
Well, again, they're trying to keep the line. All royal lines are being eliminated.
Yeah, well, I think that's what's happened with his line as well, because...
They probably killed him. What did he die of?
Suppose that, well, it's hard to say because I would like to, but it was supposed to be embolism, a brain embolism.
Embolism.
Yes, but he said that Amber was like the last descendant, so there's no more.
Okay, Amber's birthday?
His birthday was the 27th of March.
Yeah?
I can't remember what year, sorry Yahweh.
What's your year then?
Pardon?
Your year of birth? 1959.
Yes.
That's near enough. And Amber's birthday?
And hers is the 7th, 2002. 7th of the 12th, 2002.
Right. In Nimbin?
She was in Lismore Hospital. She was born in Lismore.
What time?
At 7 o'clock in the morning.
Was you wearing a watch, was you?
Pardon?
Was you wearing a watch, was you?
No, they've got a clock in the room.
So it's Lismore Hospital, is it?
Yes.
Well, I was being born 69 years ago.
That's right.
I remember this bright light at the end of a tunnel. Years later I asked my mother, and I said to her, hey, what was it, when I was being born, what was that bright light? Bloody in my eyes, you know.
You're kidding?
No, it was all a joke. And she says, oh yes, that was the birthing light. I said, yeah, the one with the eight thingos, so? She said, yes, that's right. She counts everything, right?
Oh my God, no.
2:22 in the morning. She went to labour at 5:55. Like there's a very strong hello right there. Right? Yes, I grew up to be 222 pounds. Oh dear me.
Yeah.
We moved, my first house, we moved on the 222nd day of the year.
Wow. Yeah,
Oh,
numbers just so synchronised.
Yeah.
Could anyone deny it?
I was 942 days, which is Jesus how many times in the New Testament.
Yes.
And my sister-in-law was 9.42 years older than me.
This has got to be giving them Jews the shits by now.
Oh, it gives everyone the shits, right? But I mean, you throw a number at me, so to speak, I go to an auditorium with 1,000 people, throw me one number, anyone.
Yeah,
I'll give you an
that's
answer
right.
for it.
Yeah. And it's going to do them.
Yeah, and it's coming right back to me, I can assure you, no matter what number you throw at there.
Yep. Amber's just come back. I'll ask her what Mr. E's name is. Hang on a sec. What's Mr. E's name? Mr. E. No, but what is your name? Mr. Edward? No, Mr. Everingham. Oh, Mr. Everingham. What's the first name? I don't know. Oh. Mr. Everingham. Okay. So
How to spell it?
all right, we won't do that for the moment.
How do you spell it?
Everingham, I'm not sure. Hey, yeah, I didn't go to school much, you know.
Well, I didn't either. Doesn't matter. Have a guess.
You know.
What's it sound like? Everingham. Everingham.
Ham. Like a leg of ham. Ham.
Ham.
Ham, yes.
Oh, lovely. Well, tell him as well
Yeah.
that the angel of death hasn't forgotten about you.
Well,
I got rid of my father. I got rid of my mother. I got rid of my brother. Hey, I got rid of my nephew.
you can tell Amber that she can report it. Here's Yahweh. He's got a message for Mr. Everingham. Here. I didn't. Just listen. Say hello to happy birthday, Yahweh. Yeah, but I don't have him on Facebook. No, it doesn't matter. Just listen. Hello?
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Hello, darling. How are you?
Good.
Oh, good. You still stirring up those kids down there or not?
No, not really. Not at the moment. No, at the moment.
I was hoping you was coming up because we've got all these swans up here for you. We've got 63 swans.
Well,
Yeah. Live on a lake.
I know. He can't make it up there.
Well, tell your mum to put you on a bus. Get a bus from Lismore.
Pardon?
Get a bus from Lismore. Bring one of your mates up with you.
Yeah, I wish, but
All right.
won't let me.
I'll ask her.
Oh, she's passing the phone back. What, one of the lectures?
Hey?
No, we can ask. What?
Send her up on a bus.
On a bus?
Yeah.
Oh, what about a plane? That might be easier.
Yeah, sure. Either way.
Okay, well, we'll try and organise something with that then.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Depends whether we've got to get
What
past.
about,
I don't know about planes. But not a plane, she says. No, not a plane. She'd love to. You should have seen her face light up.
I got 63 swans up here waiting for her. I got them all. We started with 7.
Yeah.
Right, Amber's coming. I said I'll get some more swans, so I'll bring some more in.
Oh,
So now we
okay.
got 63 of them.
63 swans Yahweh's got. He knows. He tells it. Yeah. Okay. Did he tell you about Mr. Everingham? What to tell him? Oh.
Talking about how I'm going to get up there.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll organise something.
Start going up there.
She's going, yes! About coming up to see you.
Yeah.
She's busting to get up there, I'm telling you.
I'll send her up for a couple of weeks.
Oh, if you can handle it, no worries.
Yeah, no problem.
And if she's late back to school, I'll let you write them a letter and
Fuck
tell
the
why.
school. Send her up now. Don't worry about bloody school.
No, I'm not. I'm not at all.
Right.
I'm just worried about her actually stirring them up when she goes there.
When she goes back, I'll have a note for the school.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. That'll really, make their year that they're not going to have.
Sure.
Oh, okay, Yahweh. I'll probably leave you to it now.
Yeah, no worries, Dale.
And I hope that you've had a wonderful day because I've
It's been glorious.
talking to you.
Lovely.
If I couldn't make it there, I knew just talking to you on the phone is going to be good.
No worries, lovely.
Yeah.
Glad you called.
And could you turn that down, please, Amber? Thanks. And and Amber's that's made her day now.
Good.
We're going to try and get her up there.
How's the little mate going?
Pardon?
How's the little mate going?
She hasn't actually seen her over the holidays. She went away to stay with her father. Her father,
Yeah.
I think, lives up north somewhere.
Yeah, on one of the islands. I've been up Stradbroke Island.
Oh, Daddy, that's right.
I've been there.
Yeah. Yeah, up there.
No, she's telling all the kids up in Stradbroke Island, right?
Yeah. But, anyway, so I'll love you and leave you.
Right up.
And here, Amber, say goodbye to Yahweh and Joel and all the crew. Here we go.
Hey, Owen.
Hi, darling, how you going?
Good.
Alright, when are you coming up?
Mummy, when am I going up there?
As soon as we can...
I said you can come up for as long as you like.
Yeah.
Alright?
I can go there as soon as I like.
We've got the beach down the road, we've got the lake here, we're right on the lake. The house is right on the lake.
Whoa, you've got a houseboat? I mean a water boat? I mean a water house?
No, the house is built beside the lake.
Oh, right.
Alright? We've got a grand piano.
Is there a beach up there?
Yeah, there's a beach.
Awesome.
555 metres away.
Oh, 55 meters away.
And we got 3 bikes.
Let's just have it like that. Awesome. Mommy, when can I go up? If we can organise it, yeah. Can I take my computer?
Yes.
I take Mr. Smurfy?
Yep.
Yeah, why not? Can I teach you how to use it? Yeah, and they can make me a YouTube site. Yeah. Yeah. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, darling, to you too.
Love you. I have to go, okay? See ya.
27th December, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
Good.
Up to everyone.
Right, darling.
See ya. Happy
7th of December, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I got him. See you later.
she's happy now. Now she's got to pester me about when she's going.
Yeah.
So we'll have to
Good
get on to it.
All right.
Listen, don't be surprised if you don't get another phone call. There's a couple of other little ones that want to...
No worries.
Happy birthday to God.
Okay, darling.
So you'll know if you get an initial phone call who it's going to be.
See you, love.
Okay?
See ya.
All right. Love you, all.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Some of these planes could be having weapons on board that can't be inspected by the immigration, by the customs. And that's how they do it. They just fly where they bloody like. What are you going to stop a plane coming, a B-52 full of drugs coming in? Because they say, no, you can't go in there, it's got a nuclear bomb on board. Well, shit. Right, this is how they get away with it. I mean, all these Americans, Australians, they're all this bloody, they're all tarred with the same snake.
Oh, yeah, exactly. They're all insane.
Oh, yeah.
And worse by the day. Wow. I've just seen there was another shooting as well. Two school children.
Where, in America or what?
Yeah, in America again.
Yeah, well, it's probably bullshit.
Yeah, another hoax.
Yeah.
Another Hollywood hoax. There's only been one report on it. It was Channel 7 News. But my computer's been going terribly slow. I can barely get anything done these days.
Yeah, mine's the same way.
Yeah. I just feel it's them.
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah, screwing with it. So that's what I put it down to. So
Absolutely.
I'm kind of fair with it at the moment. But it just tells me that they acknowledge you when this happens. You know? That's what I tell everyone anyway. I just let them know straight out. I don't beat about the bush. I don't give a damn what anyone thinks, because what I know is the truth.
That's right.
Okay? And there's nothing they can do to change that.
Yeah.
Nothing. And I'm fearless, like, you know, I just bombard anyone I can with it. So that's where I stand.
Well, the first fence you got to cross is the guy you're talking to up the street. But he'll go in the pub and say, hey, there's a silly arsehole up there, you say there's Jesus, right? And the guys who is going to listen to this could not like this guy at all, or could not be a friend, or just someone standing close by. And the rumour starts going out, and that's the whole idea of it.
Oh, that's why I stand in the shopping centre, and when I'm in the line, and I make sure I hold everyone up with starting up a conversation, because they're stuck in the line, they can't move, they have to stand there and listen to me, and I make sure I'm loud enough so that everyone can. Oh, yeah. This place
I wondered where Amber got it from.
She's a beauty. She's good at it. And,
what a kid. Oh, dear.
Yeah, she was so upset when I couldn't get up there. She was so looking forward to it. So
Come up next time.
For days. Because Nicole had to go for an operation this morning, and I wasn't sure if I was going to have to pay that. She had a wisdom tooth, and it was growing up around another tooth.
Yeah, that's not happy.
And she waited for nearly 2 months to get in and have this done. So she went in on Monday, and she had an infection, of course, and we knew that. And so they've had to wait till today to get her in there again and get the tooth done. And I was thinking, because she was the only one I could ask to come here and take care of the animals. Can't ask Lou, you know, he's not going to be reliable.
No, he can't.
We've already proven that. And so she was stuck.
Don't get embarrassed. Hold on. Yeah, that's better.
Oh, yeah, well, it's echoing a bit, but it's probably better for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, happy birthday.
Thank you, darling.
Oh, how's the day been?
Oh, it's great so far. Yeah, we set the alarm for 2:22 in the morning, or
Right.
2:20 in the morning, so we woke up. And what had happened yesterday, you know, when you get old and crockety like me, you get these dark spots on you. You know how you get these, I don't know what they call them, but you get your dark spots on your arms and all over the place where you don't want them.
Yes.
And they always show up where you don't want it. It's like hair loss, you know.
Yeah.
When you get my age, you lose the hair where you want it and it starts to grow where you don't want it. So anyhow, they started to I was looking at this big one that's really giving me the horrors, and I was just doing something and talking to the girls, and I started picking at it. Next thing, it peeled off. It's like it was stuck on there. It wasn't a pigmentation thing anymore. It had been raised up and pushed out of the skin, and new skin had grown under it to get rid of this black spot, or dark brown spot. And I had about 20 of them on the right arm and several on the left arm, small ones on the left arm and that. So I've been picking them off all day yesterday, and there's a pile of bloody scabs on the... Got to get a vacuum cleaner out and pick them all up, right? So anyhow, we're in bed. And I've had a very bad neck since I was a kid, because my father used to punch me in the side of the head, and that was his hobby. You got to hand it. Old people have got to have hobbies, and his hobby was beating his child.
Right.
And my mother used to say, "Don't punch him in the head, Reggie." Like, instead of saying, "Don't punch my kid in at all," no, here he is. Every time he got pissed off, he'd belt me across the head. And the funny thing he used to say to me when I got older, he'd say, "You'd argue with Christ, you would." And I'd say, "You are." Well, that'd also get a couple of thumps on the side of the skull. And he was a powerful man. He was a wharf labourer, drove truck and all that kind of stuff, and had hands like dinner plates. And he'd belt me as hard as he could until I was about 12. I finally smacked him back, and then he didn't do it after that because I was getting too big for him, because I was a very strong kid by the time that, and I could take a punch because he had taught me how to do it, right? So anyhow, it had damaged my neck, and that had caused me a great deal of problems over the years. And even the girls here would just a couple of days ago would massage my neck and been trying to get some relief out of it, because it's just something I got used to, you know.
Yeah.
Very painful. Anyhow, I'm laying in bed at 2:20 and I've got my head rolling it back and forwards on the pillow. No pain.
Wow.
Gone.
Oh, I wish I had that happening for me, because I've got similar to you. I've got chronic back and neck problems.
Is that because of punching the head sometime, or?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that.
Well, the point is...
That said it all then.
Yeah.
He was left sort of gobsmacked and not knowing how to answer it, because he ripped it off.
Well, as I said, I've said right from day one that's what he'd do, but he's got these plants out there. They're 13 magnificent trees that are out through the property. I mean, they're huge. Some of them are bloody 15 feet high, right? And the buds that were coming off them were bloody enormous. So I said, he's going to stick that in his arm because he's an ex-heroin addict, right?
Yeah, that's right. No, he's not. Yeah, he's a heroin addict.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. But up until that point, I was surprised that he was trustworthy, or had come across as being trustworthy.
I shouldn't have saved his life.
That's right. I feel like that too at the moment, you know, because it's horrible to know that people just...
Well, he was facing a horrible death, so I said, we've got to fix him. So,
really shocked me, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, now he has to face me each time, so he's made himself very scared around me, because he knows I know your God.
Yeah, well, he's got part rhinoceros in him, see?
Got stuff.
Yeah, bloody, the skin that thick.
Yeah. I grew up with, using needles for, how old is he, 40 years.
Well, I tried to get him on the straight and narrow, but yeah, whatever.
But,
so I got to ban all that kind of shit.
There's no hope for him, There's no hope for him. He's full-on drug addict, and that's all there is to it. I was just hoping he'd actually come to his senses, but...
No way.
No, not at all.
No, that stuff's got to be banned.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's only produced through Lizzie, you know,
Yeah.
the Royal, you know,
Yeah, that's right.
with the military mining their opium fields.
Yeah. Oh, it's all, England's all behind all this drugs, you know, when it all started. That's what they did to deal with China.
Yes, exactly.
Right? Opium and all sorts of stuff, and then India. So those trading this bloody horrible crap, forcing them to take it. That's what the Boxer Revolution was all about.
Yep. Yeah.
And there was one stage there, the Americans pulled in there with the ships into one of the ports of China, and they just started bombarding the city with these flotilla of guns until they submitted.
Yeah.
Right? So they caused the trade to occur, and that's what's going on in Afghanistan and all these countries. They bring the drugs up. Because Clinton was involved.
Yeah.
See, when they used to bring the drugs into Clinton territory, Arkansas, and that's where the kids were murdered down there because they had been out in the bush and they'd seen the military planes flying in with all this to pick up the dope from, or one or the other. It was either the military planes coming in. Now the reason they use military planes is that well, I'm a bit upset at the moment.
Sorry?
I'm a bit upset at the moment.
What's happening?
I can't find a cigarette lighter. Oh, here it is. It's all right. When I was in Canada, my wife and I had separated, and I rang her up one day and I'm crying on the phone. And she said, what's the matter? I don't know how to tell you. I'm going like this, and this carried on for about 5 years. You got to tell, what is it? And so I got all this magnificent marijuana, and I can't find my cigarette lighter. Well, she loves smoking dope, right?
Oh, goodness. Oh, I'd be crying too if I couldn't find a cigarette lighter and I had some nice green herbal remedy there to be lit up.
Does she own stuff, or is that Lou's?
I actually called him up the other week there. He dropped in here to ask me if I could give him a lift home with one of them big bags of dog food.
Yeah.
And I told him I was planning to come up to visit too, and if he could get a nice birthday present organised for me to take up there, I'd appreciate it. And he was supposed to drop in on Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest. And he hasn't arrived, of course, so sorry to blow his birthday surprise. That's what it was going to be.
Right.
It just hasn't arrived.
Right. Well, as I said about Lou, you can trust him as far as you can throw him.
Yeah. Well, that's what it boils down to.
So when Adam said all the plantation up there, and we had those 33 bloody marijuana plants, the stuff that I'd raised and put my blood in it and bloody fat all over them and so forth. And these things are growing like crazy. And I said, now we'll give them to Lou. And Adam said, yeah, and I'll give you some money. You'll get $100 grand out of it. You know, oh yeah, right. I said, Lou will rip me off. Well, everyone was very surprised that I'd say that.
Yes.
Right. I said, look, it's how it is. He will rip me off.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And sure enough, he did.
I'm actually quite shocked at his behaviour with that because I pulled him up. Prior to me asking him when he come here to ask for a lift with the dog food, he dropped in here just out of the blue one afternoon, I think it was, when I not long talked to you. And Amber's sitting here, and I said to him, listen, I've spoken to Jan, and he said that, there should have been some other plants there. And he sat in my kitchen on that tent chair I've got, and he sat there and rolled his eyes around as if to say, oh, here we go, He was in a rotten mood about Darren, his mate at the time, and I didn't press him any further, but he knew I was annoyed and that I was asking him a pressing question, and it put him in a very awkward situation. So I was happy Amber was sitting there listening to me putting it on him, but he didn't give me any answer back. What? Talk about it. Yeah. Probably part of it.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's very interesting, isn't it? So the point is, I've been saying all along that I have to be the first to start to reach that point of showing immortality on the earth, which I've demonstrated a long time now for people trying to kill me. But now it's the reverse of aging.
Yeah.
So that's starting.
Oh.
So that's good news.
That's amazing.
That's
Well,
Diana.
Yeah.
G'day, Diana.
We're just getting a hello there from your little mate up here. He's saying hello to you.
Who's that?
Joel.
Oh, I can't hear him because of the echoing going on in the background.
Oh, yeah,
Joel.
we're in a big room. How are ya?
How are you, hon?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Oh, you know, hot and sweaty down here. There's like a microwave in it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I've got out of this, you know. It's
It's
like,
a hot summer.
no sun, apparently, you know. But it's all overcast and we feel like we're being microwaved.
Well, this is the whole point. It is getting hotter.
Yeah.
We looked at the Australian map of weather the other day, or Ash did, and they've had to put a new colour in because red, which is up to about 50 degrees Celsius, what's that, 120, 130 degrees Fahrenheit, they've now got another one in there, it's called purple, which is over 50 degrees Celsius.
You're kidding.
No. And of course, here we are sitting up in Queensland where normally it would bake you, but because of the Coriolis effect, this is why we come north. And because the temperature range is going to change from Queensland, because it's coming up probably 500 or 600 miles, the centre of the heat wave, normally where it would be in this area we are, is now south 500 miles. So,
okay, just explaining it for me, thank you.
yeah, that's right. That's what it's all about. It's the Coriolis effect. We crossed the Milky Way galaxy equator, as you know.
Yeah.
And we crossed that a long time ago. It was 11th of December last year.
Yep. I
Right.
recall that.
So this is what's happening. So now we've got this, the weather pattern has changed dramatically in America, Australia, Africa. If you look at Google Earth, go into Google Earth and look up the areas that you would think would be desert areas of Africa, and you'll find it's quite green.
Yeah.
Right? Ethiopia and places like that.
Right.
All right. So so they're doing well, whereas other parts of the world, like the south part of Australia, it is being baked, and of course they're also having bad weather in the sense of storms.
Sorry, could you just say that again?
They're having bad weather in storms and
Yes.
floods.
We only just missed one on Wednesday night here. It looked like it was heading towards us, and it was pretty fierce looking storm, and it actually went in another direction.
Yeah,
So
right.
So I was battening down the hatches.
Yeah.
You know,